Hi everyone, good morning. It's Margaret Manning here. Welcome to 60 and Me. Hope that you're doing great this morning, having a fantastic time wherever you are. Thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate your time, your presence, and just all the love that you give us here at 60 and Me. I hope that we're doing a good job for you. I'd love your feedback always on how the articles that we're writing, the kinds of stories that you are interested in, and hope that we're touching the right chord. I want to talk to you today about something that has been kind of highlighted very recently for me here on 60 and Me, and then also just in the world in general. But before I start, I wanted to tell you about my tea. I'm just drinking a cup of really beautiful Earl Grey tea this morning in my little blue cup. Oh, spilling it on myself. But anyway, it's delicious. And I hope that you've got a cup of tea or coffee that you love, something that really makes you feel good and gets you ready for the day. Now, it's a funny light here today. So the sun is shining and then it goes dark and then it's light again. So hopefully it's something that you can see. I'm not fading away here. But anyway, the topic for today is about conversation. Now, we have, I think, one of the most beautiful communities I've ever experienced. I mean, women are, on the whole, 99% kind and considerate to each other, and they talk to one another with respect. You know, we listen to each other's point of view, and I'm just amazed sometimes at some of the issues that we talk about, which are real issues. We can't hide behind them and only talk about fashion and beauty and, makeup all the time. There's a world out there, and we have to live in it. So even the topics that are a little delicate, people tend to be very understanding and calm and respectful. But I just wanted to chat about this whole idea about having an opinion, but still being respectful and having learning the art of good conversation, listening and talking in your 60s. Now, one of our bloggers is Cheryl Nicholson, and she wrote this article, which I think is really, really it just touched on all the right points. And so I wanted to use that as a foundation for our conversation today. Now, the first thing, of course, she says is that it's turbulent times, right? I mean, the world is in a state, lots going on, and the fact that we have instant access to information on our channels online just makes it even all the more difficult to keep a perspective, where you want to defend your own point of view because it's just turbulent. So she says that's all very well, and it's great to have an opinion, but it's also great to have this art of fine conversation and to, if you can, start a conversation with someone who may have a different point of view with 3 simple words: in my opinion. If you frame your comments with, in my opinion, this, then that person can come back and say, well, I disagree with you, or in my opinion, and then you've got a level playing ground. You've got a place that you can have a conversation that is interesting and informational. And I think it's important to realize that having an opinion doesn't mean that you're right in the eyes of someone else, and it's not a matter of right and wrong. It's a matter of just having 2 different points of view. And I've just noticed the sun has completely changed. But anyway, I'm glowing here and my hair's disappearing. Anyway, social media, by the way, according to Cheryl, and I totally agree with her, is not the place to have a conversation about different opinions. Communication is all about looking people in the eye, feeling them, looking at their responses, watching their body language, and actually having a holistic understanding of what they're feeling, what they're trying to communicate. You can't do this online. You can't do this on social media, although many people try and use images that are provocative, and it's just kind of a phase I think we're going through. I think, honestly, we can, as older women, change that narrative and use our wisdom to calm down conversations and direct them to a good place. Communication, as Cheryl points out, is beyond words. You can't just use words and expect people to understand what you're trying to say. So that's important. Now, you can get support for your views online. You can join Facebook groups or other groups that have the same belief as you, and that's great. That gives you a sense of, commitment to what you believe in, and I think there's nothing wrong with that. So join Facebook groups, talk away. Have your own opinion when everybody else is in the same place. Start a meetup group. Make sure your meetup group is very well defined, for people who think that or people who are committed to, and then you'll get those people. And if someone shows up who has a different point of view, well, then there's an opportunity for them to stay with you and listen openly, or to find another group that is more aligned to their beliefs. So there's nothing wrong with having an opinion. It's just when you're having that kind of conversation to suspend it perhaps, or at least to have it as an open place for dialogue. One thing that Cheryl talks about, which I think is very interesting, is to start off by asking yourself where you got your opinions from. Where did they start? Did they start from your experience? Did they come from your parents? Did they come from your work environment or the kind of work you do? And I think that's important to realize that sometimes opinions grow from personal experience that is pretty powerful. And you can't really change someone who has that point of view. And I won't go into the areas that I think are very provocative, but I do have friends and family who went through things in their lives that had shaped an opinion that I could never change in a million years. And I think now I've realized I don't want to. I'd rather just keep their friendship and their love and their connection as a person that's important to me, and disagree on that point. Another thing is you can actually start your training for being more open-minded or more willing to share your opinion, share a different opinion. Start at home. And Cheryl actually says this is a great way to do it. For example, watch documentaries on a topic, but from the other perspective. Just watch it. Don't make any judgment. Don't turn the television off or try to, justify your position while you're watching it. Just watch it. Learn someone else's point of view. Watch the TV channels that you always say, well, that's the point of view of X television station. Watch it. See what they say. Listen to their point of view. I mean, you may completely disagree, but you could just practice by saying, well, that was interesting, but in my opinion, that point was inaccurate, or that point does not align with my values or my goals. Try to put that, in my opinion, into work, at home, in your own safe environment. And I guess as Cheryl says, avoid black and white thinking. I'm right, they're wrong. This is true, this is false. Because they say there is one truth, and it's true. There is only one true truth about anything, but there's different opinions about it, and those are valid, I think. And I think it's important that we also have some skills that we learn to apply when we're talking to someone who disagrees. And I've read so many different approaches to this, but the one that Cheryl mentions, which I think is very important, is there are some pretty straightforward things you can do if someone starts arguing with you about their point, or starts saying that they don't want to listen to your point of view. This is mine. That's it. You can leave. Just walk away. If you make the decision to walk away, you're walking away. You don't have to justify or feel bad or apologize. You just walk away. The second thing is to say something, like to state, this is not the time or place for this conversation. Let me gather some more facts and information and let's talk again. So state that you don't want to talk about it right now because you need more information. And just by doing that, I think you actually let them know that you're prepared to talk. You just need to be more prepared to answer and address their point of view. And then the other thing is to respond. So you can leave, you can share, you can state, or you can respond. And you can say, thank you for sharing your opinion. You have the right to your opinion, and I have the right to my opinion. This is where it's useful, I think, to find a common ground where you can say, for example, I think we agree that we both want our children to get a good education. I think we both agree that we want there to be a more peaceful world. I think we can agree that we want, to have, a place where we can live in with, clean air. That's a hot one, environment. But, you can say, we do agree on that. So let's say that we agree on that point. We just have a different perspective on how to get there. And I don't think that I'm going to change my mind, and probably you aren't either. So let's leave it at that. I value your friendship, your family relationship, more than I value being right on this topic. So let's go have a coffee. and just do that. Now, that's if a person if that is a person that you really do have a close relationship with and you want to take it further with. If it's someone you've just met, you say, well, I think we probably need to just part ways on this. But if it's someone you care about, just say, your friendship's more important than any disagreement on this topic. I think that neutralizes it, don't you? Well, I hope this has been an interesting conversation. I when I read this, it really helped me because even since I live most of my life online, I do tend to try to answer in a way that's not provocative or that's open-minded, and maybe you do the same. So, when you're having a conversation, what do you always try to say, in my opinion, comma? How do you manage those conversations with people that you don't agree with? I would really love your conversation on this. And of course, let's keep it calm and respectful and let's just put it out there and we'll have a nice chat about it. But thank you again for being such great people and so kind and so understanding. And let's see how many of you actually do use that phrase, in my opinion, when you're having a conversation with someone. So have a wonderful day, everybody. Go out there, maybe talk to someone about a topic that's important to you and practice some of these techniques and just have a great, great day. Know that I appreciate you so much for being here and tell a friend about 60andMe. Tell people to check out our website and let me know whether you use that phrase, in my opinion. Take good care, everybody. Have a wonderful day. We'll talk again soon. Bye-bye.